I'm Glenn Dyer, and you are watching a Dyer-Situation. Sorry about the delay in getting a video out there. There's been a lot of disturbances recently, but I did manage to get out my top 5 favorite and least favorite movies. Hopefully that list will not change soon, at least in the worst category. So, this leaves me with several different movies that I can see, because I was planning on those last 2 weeks to watch 3 different movies. And of course this week I had planned to watch a movie as well, so that leaves me with 4 choices for a movie to watch. In fact, or a few that I decided I couldn't watch before. However, I'm going to run through the list of the movies I could see and explain why I'm not going to see them. Alright, so, first one is After Earth. I am not going to see that because, well, I already know how it's going to be. It's not going to be any kind of surprise. It is a movie made for Jaden Smith. Will Smith bought his son a movie, so yeah, most people would put their kid in the play, and like, so he'll be happy. But no, Will Smith bought him a movie. It's going to be boring, and it is going to be uninteresting. But what the heck do you expect, right? So, and from what I've heard from reviews, exactly the same idea. Next one is Epic. I am not going to see Epic today because it doesn't look very interesting at all. Like, I haven't seen any reviews, but I've seen the cast list, I've seen, like, trailers and stuff. It looks so generic and boring that I couldn't possibly be bothered watching it. Admittedly, I was going to watch it last week, I think, but now there's other choices, I don't think I will. Because, yeah, maybe it would surprise me, maybe it's a good movie, I'm not willing to take that chance. So, here we go. Fast and the Furious 6. Once again, I know exactly how that's going to be. It is going to be hilarious, over the top, and really silly. However, I would rather spend my time doing something with a little bit more thought to it, than just cars taking down a plane on a 1,600-mile driveway. So, yeah, let's see, I'm at 3, I already saw that. Now You See Me. Now You See Me. I was going to watch Now You See Me, but, at the same day as, Epic, that was going to be my 2-episode day. I was going to see Now You See Me. However, I don't want to see it now because, well, I didn't actually really want to see it beforehand. Now You See Me, is just some kind, is some kind of, crime mystery, I suppose, as to how these people robbed a bank. That doesn't sound like an entertaining movie experience. That's it. Moving on. Let's see. Sorry, Stoston. Okay. The Hangover Part 3. I didn't like The Hangover. I never saw The Hangover Part 2. From what I hear, it's the same as The Hangover, so I probably wouldn't like it. No interest in seeing The Hangover Part 3. The Internship. Okay, so basically Google bought itself a movie. That's like Will Smith bought a movie for his son. Google bought itself a movie for its advertising purposes, to advertise its interns are socially awkward nerds. But, it just doesn't look funny. I'm sorry, like, Fast and the Furious 6 looks like a funny movie. The Internship doesn't look funny. It looks like it's just gonna be filled with immature dialogue. Fist me, bro. Fist me. Like, that's not very funny. I'm sorry. I can't I can't in all honesty be like, yeah, that's gonna be hilarious, I'm gonna watch it. No, no. It's probably just gonna be like average comedy, and I can do better with my time. So this leads us to the movie I'm actually seeing today, The Purge. Now, what The Purge, you might ask? I mean, seems like a generic home invasion movie, doesn't it? I mean, uh, from the commercials, basically, it's a future where no crime happens uh, because of this purge thing, where once a year, all crime is legal for one day, which is incredibly ridiculous. But yeah. So I guess it follows the life of this one family. But why this movie? For some reason, it interests me. I kind of want to see what they do with it because I think there's a lot of potential with a movie like this, like of the people being inside the house and stuff, especially since it's the future. I'd like to see some innovations done with it. Plus, you know how I love my horror films. Um, so yeah, I'm seeing The Purge. I think I think that it is going to be somewhat interesting. There is a chance that it is going to suck because it is a thriller. It says it's a thriller on the page here, but hey, whatever. It's rated R. Might be some fun. I don't know. What's it rated R for? Let's see. It is rated R. It doesn't say on this page. Well, thank you very much. Let me check IMDb. Um, uh, there you go, The Purge. Oh, it's #1 grossing film this weekend. Oh, there you go. You have another reason to see it. It's not going to tell me why. Um, well, maybe if I look at this. Oh, strong, disturbing violence in some language. Okay, that could be fun. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a couple hours after I'm done watching the movie. So yeah. And here I am back again. So that was kind of funny. Probably a lot funnier than the internship would have been. Probably not as funny as Fast and the Furious 6 would have been, but whatever. So what to talk about? Um, I didn't like it, to say the least. This is like the short story. I didn't like it that much, and here's why. It is so generic, so predictable. I mean, I was predicting major plot points 5 minutes before they happened. Like there was no surprises here. Like you're like, okay, there's a family of four, three of them are there, and they're about to die. So the fourth one's gonna come out and stop them, and it happens. Like there were no real surprises in this whole movie, really. Rather disappointing too. Probably the most interesting thing about it, though, is its concept. Apparently, 10 years in the future, this is like takes place in the year 2022 or something. Um, like apparently after a gigantic depression or something, like we elected these guys called the new founding fathers, and they made the purge for everyone that got their murderous instincts out, one day, and apparently it works, even though it wouldn't, because basically, the idea of the purge relies on the concept that everyone is a murderous psychopath who is decent enough to only be a murderous psychopath once a year. So of course it wouldn't fucking work. You know, most people would have to be that, and I'm sorry, there are a lot of assholes in the world. Like I can agree with this. Most people aren't murderous psychopaths, though. All right, and that's what this movie suggests. That almost everyone's a closeted murderous psychopath and just do anything to revenge. Like, hey, he's a homeless person. Let's kill him because God or something. I don't know. There's some weird religious things in here. Um, or hey, that person made money by selling us these life-saving security systems. Let's kill him. Like, it's ridiculous. Who thinks like that? Like, I'm sure there's people who are, but luckily they're a minority, a very small minority, I would hope, of people who would literally murder someone for making more money than you. Like, it's, it's ridiculous. And that's the main thing about it. Like, the concept is ridiculous and probably the most entertaining thing about this. Except for maybe the villain. Like, basically all these guys come in masks. I'm trying not to give away too much. They come in masks and their leader is a guy who wore a mask at the beginning and decided to stop wearing his mask for some reason. And, yeah, he is pretty entertaining. He is along the same style as the villain from Skyfall, where, the homoerotic, um, smiling bad guy person. And yeah, he was also kind of entertaining. I wasn't the only one laughing at him. There was quite a few people laughing at him, and he is pretty funny. But seriously, not as funny as the concept. I'm still trying to picture how this would work in people's heads, how people would possibly think it. Like, I suppose, like, if you don't think too much about it, and just think, okay, people are bad, let's give them one day to be bad, and the rest of the time they can't be bad. Okay, um, that wouldn't work. I'm sorry, people aren't bad one day of the year, alright? And from the looks of things, and they claim that the crime rate is down. Hell yeah, you made it legal on one day. Of course crime rate is down. They claim the crime rate is down, but then they show like footage of the actual purge event. I think there's more shit going down on that one day than there is throughout an entire year of crap going down. It's it's ridiculous. And yeah. Apparently, in the future, we're so civilized that if somebody has a differing opinion than you, instead of, civilly defending it out, no, just wait for that one day of the year so you can freaking murder them. Well, that settles all your problems in the future. Um, yeah, I don't. Seriously, if that was true, then there would be no more civil discussion. In fact, there was actually a scene in this where some guy was like, okay, I'm gonna talk this out with him, and he just straight up tries to kill him. Made the world so much better, didn't you? I don't see how there could be two sides to this. Like, it's such a dumb idea. And that's a problem too. It takes you out of the movie because you can't believe that it's actually true, you know? Um, and yeah, realism is an important thing. I'm trying to think of how they would have done this a little better. Um, okay, let's see. A way they would have done this better. Okay. Um, Probably just the idea of the purge event is probably the stupidest thing about this. So probably you wouldn't actually have that in there if you're trying to go for something like realistic or memorable, I suppose. You, I don't know. They probably just could have kept this as the town is murderous, you know. Uh, But then again, that's generic as well. You know what? I don't see too many ways to save this movie, but it was kind of bad. So there's not too much more to talk about here. Um, until next time, I am Glenn Dyer, and you have been watching A Dire Situation. So tune in next week on the 15th for a very personal, a very personal and very solemn episode of A Dire Situation with all of the guys. It's going to be me, Rob, Alex, and Dylan for our review of Man of Steel.